Distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, our dear friends of science and technology.
We are here to welcome you to the Division Webinar Series on Science Content and Teaching Strategies in the context of the most essential learning competencies for Grade 3 science teachers.
I am Marvin S. Bosato of St. Francis Elementary School.
And I'm Ma'am Vivian S. Rojas of Arellano Elementary School. Good morning po sa ating lahat! Good morning sa lahat ng nakatutok sa ating FB Live. Para sa mga hindi pa po naka-join sa ating FB Live, join na po tayo. For sure marami kayong mapupulot sa webinar na to. And para po sa mga naka-join na, I think excited na kayo sa webinar na ito. Para sa mga bagong kaalaman na ating mapapakinggan, so hindi na po natin papatagalin pa. And to formally start our webinar this morning, may we request everyone to please watch the audiovisual presentations for our national anthem and opening prayer.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Kayang mag-ibig, telas ng sinakalan, alam ng puso, sa titik mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, tuyag ka ng mag-ibig, sa manlulupin, di ka pasisigil, sa nagagang tutok sa simoy at sa langit ng bagaw, ay hinatang tulad, awit sa pagkayang minamahal. Ang isang ng matawad mo'y tagumpay na nag-iindig, ang bituin at araw niya kailan ang may mag-iindig. Luman ang araw ng walhagit pagsinta, buhay langit sa piling ko. Ang inigaya ng pagkay mga api, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
A prayer for teachers. Giver of all wisdom and greatest of all teachers, look upon our teachers with love. Grant them the resolve to nurture our eager minds and to never give up on us who fall behind. Bless their hearts, for they rejoice when we succeed, and encourage us when we fail. Endow them with gentle patience, for the path of learning is never easy. Kindle a spirit of passion in them. It is the flame that ignites the love of learning in us. Help them see the potential in each student. Their belief in us means much more than the grade we make. Instill in them a commitment to keep on learning. It shows us to not fear new knowledge and experiences. Inspire them to touch the future. They influence how big a dream we dream for ourselves. Bless our teachers who have come before, for their work endures to this day. Let the light of your example shine upon all teachers, to build up with their words, to love with their mind, to share with their heart. Amen.
All right, so once again, good morning science teachers and good morning partner. You know what partner, despite the pandemic or situation right now, our Department of Education is still finding ways and solutions to continue to provide the best education for our learners.
That's right, partner. Kaya nga meron tayong mga webinars na katulad nito. To learn and master, of course, the content of particular subject, and learn and practice also some effective styles and strategies in teaching particularly science subject.
I agree with that, partner. So we are so lucky and blessed that our leaders in the school's division office of Bataan are always trying to provide more trainings and webinars for us to learn and provide also the best and quality education for our learners.
Tama ka dyan, partner. Napaka-blessed natin dahil hindi tayo pinapabayaan ng ating mahuhusay at masisipag na leaders. They always see to it na ang mga teachers o mga guro sa ating division are fully equipped when it comes to teaching. Diba? So, talaga napakaswerte natin, partner. And speaking of leaders, partner, joining us today, of course, and give his message, let us all welcome our Education Program Supervisor, Mr. Edwin Bermilio. Take it away, sir!
Magandang buhay po sa lahat. Welcome to the last wave and leg of our division webinar series on science content and teaching strategies in the context of the most essential learning competencies for the fourth quarter. Sabi po ni Henry Ford, coming together is a beginning, keeping together is progress, working together is success. And I believe that this highlights the importance of working together in teams for science department from first to fourth quarter of its activities. With this, I would like to personally take this opportunity to express our sincerest gratitude for the success of all our science webinar series. To our school's division superintendent, Dr. Roland M. Fronda, to our Assistant Schools Division Superintendent, Sir William Roderick R. Falurin, words can neither qualify nor quantify how helpful your guidance and advice has been. We are forever grateful for your support sa Science Department. We continuously learning from your examples because your leadership is not just about titles or positions, it's about one life influencing another. Thank you po, Sir Roland and Sir William. To our Curriculum Implementation Division Chief, Dr. Milagros M. Peñaflor, thank you for your trust and confidence. Your support and guidance have been instrumental in helping us to provide quality science curriculum instruction by enhancing the content knowledge and pedagogical skills of our science teachers, including alternative learning system from grades 3 to 12. To our public school district supervisors, science department heads and coordinators, and our elementary school principal coordinators, our sincerest thanks for selfless support in all our endeavor. Your dedication, compassion, skill, and professionalism will allow us to get through all the activities with flying colors. And we are all indebted to you. We appreciate your. Maraming salamat po sa pagmamahal. Amidst the challenges, I am also very grateful to have our intelligent, strong, competent, and brave resource speakers who took the challenge as learning facilitators. Thank you for great performance, dedication, and expertise in delivering quality instruction to the teachers and learners of the SDO Bataan. Of course, special thanks to the members of the program management team in charge for online platform, program design, Google Forms, and our moderators for the hard work and for silently working behind the scene just to make sure that we have tools and resources available. We value all your dedication to keep us up and running. Your efforts are truly appreciated. To our science teachers, we hope that the trainings we have provided will help contribute improve students' learning outcome, develop strategies and approaches, and encourage quality implementation of science curriculum and implementation. From the first until this fourth quarter webinar series, your individual commitment to a group effort is what makes a science department. Maraming salamat po sa lahat. God bless us all.
Thank you very much, sir, for that wonderful and meaningful message and to inspire and motivate us this morning. So let us also hear the inspirational message of our very hardworking and supportive Chief Education Supervisor, Ma'am Milagros M. Peñaflor.
Today is your last among the 4 webinar series of this kind in science. I am glad that you all were able to make it. Congratulations to everyone, my dear science teachers, department head, principal coordinators, and to Sir Edwin Bermilio for the untiring efforts in bringing a quality science instruction to our young people amidst the challenges. We are now on the fourth quarter. It's like that we are ending the school year, but most of the wrapping up activities will be in this last quarter. The remediation, the catching up activities, plus of course, the readiness of our learners for the year-end assessment. Let us see to it that all competencies reflected in the most essential learning competencies are learned by our students. The provincial government, in line with the development of the Human Index, would like to measure how our schools perform, how our learners fare, considering the implementation of the learning continuity plan of our schools. I know that it is really hard to cope up with the many challenges, but I have seen how you did it with so many times with the issues and concerns in science. The challenges lies not only with our learners having the competencies, but how we make them critical and creative thinkers. Today's session hopes to deliver both, as our competent speakers dwell on interesting topics, putting premium on the plight of our teachers in teaching the skills, how this could be a ready hand for teaching lifelong learning skills in science. Thank you for everyone's participation in this webinar. Thank you for your resiliency in pushing through up to this last quarter. Thank you for keeping up with your promises para sa bata, para sa bayan. Happy day, happy learning, and God bless us all.
Thank you very much, Ma'am Mila, our Chief Education Supervisor. You know what? One thing I like the most with Ma'am Mila is her smile. Nakaka-good vibes, kumbaga. So thank you for that, Ma'am Mila. And for our next message, here is our very hardworking, humble, a person with a good heart. Would you please welcome our school's division superintendent, Sir Roland M. Fronda.
Good day to all the participants in the webinar series on science content and teaching strategies in the context of most essential learning competencies for the fourth quarter for grades 3 to 12 in SDO Bataan. We are nearly 1 month to go before the closing of school year 2021, and we have hurdled, we have surpassed, we are survivors. This event likewise culminates the webinar which the division have initiated from the first quarter up to the last quarter. And I am certain that what we have experienced from the time we started this uncertain and ambiguous journey, it has taught us a lot of lessons how to cope with all these challenges. In our present system and practices in education, particularly in these trying times of uncertainty, many of us would surmise that our education systems are not well aligned with the overall goal of learning. Other goals can detract from, and in some cases compete with, efforts to improve learning outcomes. We could also infer that the elements of an education system are often incompatible or incoherent. For example, our government funding allocation sometimes fail to provide the resources schools need to improve learning, and even the school funding is available. The rules governing its use often leave little flexibility for schools to use it in ways tailored to specific needs of students. What we can do is to become resilient. No, it's resiliency is actually the byword of the pandemic. No, to promote resiliency, no, as science teachers, no, we must consider our strengths and our assets in education communities and systems to support our students in making sense of the adversity they experience. I know that it's not only the students who are experiencing adversity, but also our teachers, our school administrators. We should find the very purpose in education and develop the needed skills and competencies. We need to upskill ourselves as well as teachers. Your collective participation in this kind of academic exercise can propel our mutual support and commitment to learning, because protection and well-being of our students, our staff, and our families that are affected by this great educational challenge is paramount. Well, to put emphasis, resilience matters because not only is learning and school success possible in spite of adversity, education can also be the vehicle to overcome the adversity. To Dr. Peñaflor, our CID chief, to Dr. Bermilio, and to all the participants, thank you very much for sharing to us your precious time to actively participate in this kind of activity, this half-day activity. I believe this will end until the Friday of this week. I hope all your sharings of experiences would give us feedback to calibrate and redirect our compass what to prioritize, because we value your observation, we value your inputs and recommendation to better improve our service. We want to make sense and find our purpose that in turn will allow us to make meaningful and positive decisions as we mold heroes in Bataan. Magandang araw po sa ating lahat. Pagpalain tayo ng dakilang Diyos at patuloy po kayong mag-ingat.
Thank you very much, Sir Fronda, for your message. You are truly an inspiration to us. Please continue enlightening us for us teachers to become the best among the best. Yan. So once again, thank you very much, Sir Fronda. So I think ready na ang ating mga speakers for today. So let us proceed. It says that the subject or the mastery of the subject content by a teacher determines the quality of teaching and subsequent learning. The teacher with good knowledge of the subject matter can plan and teach the lesson by way of highlighting the main points of the lesson to the learner while clarifying the knowledge misconceptions. And today, to discuss the content of science subject, here's our first speaker, a Master Teacher 1 from PEAS Elementary School. A virtual applause please for Miss Marilee A. Ajero.
Good morning, everyone. I am Marilee A. Ajero, Master Teacher 1 of PEAS Elementary School, Limay District. Welcome to the Division Webinar Series on Science Content and Teaching Strategies in the context of most essential learning competencies in the fourth quarter. I am tasked today to discuss the following. Content standard, natural objects in the sky affect one's daily activities. Performance standard, list down activities which affect your daily activities. And the most essential learning competency, describe the natural objects that are found in the sky during daytime and nighttime. My objective for today is, at the end of the lesson, the learners should be able to describe the natural objects that are found in the sky during daytime and nighttime. So what are the things that we can see in the sky during the day and during the night? Let us study the following. Look at the sky. Plasma, heated to incandescence by nuclear fusion reactions in its core, radiating the energy mainly as visible light and infrared radiation. It is by far the most important source of energy for life on Earth. Its diameter is about 1.39 million kilometers or 364,000 miles, or 109 times that of the Earth. The Sun is a star just like what we can see in the night. It is the center of the solar system. It takes 365 days, or equivalent to 1 year, to revolve around the Sun. The surface of the Sun is about 5,700 degrees Celsius, or more than 10,000 degrees Fahrenheit. The Sun is the closest star on Earth, which is about 150 million kilometers away. Now let's move on to number 2, clouds. Cloud is described as a mass of water drops or ice crystals suspended in the atmosphere. Clouds form when water condenses in the sky. The condensation lets us see the water vapor. Clouds tell us the weather. Clouds are made of tiny water drops. Water drops are so tiny that floats in the sky. If there are so many droplets, they form in groups which we call clouds. Some clouds can be seen way up high, and others are seen lower in the sky. Clouds are often looks white, but sometimes they form gray. It is because the water droplets or ice crystals in the clouds gathered all the lights from the Sun. Lights from the Sun are all colors in the rainbow, but when all colors put together, they make white. That's why clouds appeared white in color. What about the gray clouds? As the clouds gathered more water and ice crystals, it becomes thicker and denser. This results in scattering less lights from the Sun, so the clouds appear gray in color. Clouds are named for how they look. Clouds that looks like big hips are called cumulus clouds. Cumulus means hip. Some clouds that look like wisps of hair are called cirrus clouds. Cirrus means hair. What about a layer of clouds that looks like a blanket? This is called stratus clouds. Stratus means layer. Other clouds' names are made up of 2 different names put together. The word for rain cloud is nimbus. Sometimes we could see a cumulus or a hip cloud that is a rain cloud, nimbus. That is called cumulonimbus clouds. Another example is a nimbus stratus cloud. This is a mix of nimbus, a rain cloud, and stratus, a layered cloud. Now, let's move on to the next object, which is the rainbow. Rainbow is described as a multicolored arc in the sky which appears when sunlight hits water droplets. Rainbows are the result of the refraction and reflection of light. Both refraction and reflection are phenomena that involve a change in a wave's direction. A refracted wave may appear bent, while a reflected wave might seem to bounce back from a surface or other wave front. How are rainbows formed? The raindrops act as a small prism and bring the sun's white light into a band of 7 colors, and that is when you see a rainbow. Remember, rainbows only appears when the rain and sun occurs at the same time. As light enters the rainwater droplets, it bends slightly into separate angles, forming different light rays. Now, it's nighttime. Look at the sky. What can you see? Yes, There is a moon and there are stars. Let's discuss about the moon. Moon is described as a natural satellite revolving around a planet. The moon is the Earth's only natural satellite, at about 1/4 the diameter of Earth, comparable to the width of Australia. It is the largest natural satellite in the solar system relative to the size of its planet, the 5th largest satellite in the solar system overall, and is larger than any dwarf planet. The moon is the only satellite that revolves around our planet. It takes 28 days to completely go around the Earth. If we will observe the moon along a period of time, it appears to change shapes. This change is called lunar phases, and they repeat every 28 days. There are 4 phases: full moon, first quarter, new moon, and last quarter. These phases are produced because of 2 reasons. First is the movement of the moon around the Earth, and second is because the moon reflects the light from the sun. The 5th object is the star. Stars are a fixed luminous point in the night sky that is a large, remote, incandescent body like the sun. In a scientific sense, a star is a ball of hydrogen and helium with enough mass that it can sustain nuclear fusion at its core. They can come in different sizes and colors. Now, can you see those stars forming patterns? Yes, they are constellations. And what are constellations? Constellations are a group of stars forming a recognizable pattern. A constellation is a group of stars that looks like a particular shape in the sky and has been given a name. These stars are far away from Earth. They are not connected to each other at all. Some stars in a constellation might be close while others are very far away. But if you were to draw a line in the sky between the stars like a dot-to-dot puzzle and use lots of imagination, the picture would look like an object, animal, or person. Over time, cultures around the world have had different names and numbers of constellations depending on what people thought they saw. Today, there are 88 officially recognized constellations. In ancient times, stars are grouped together into a pattern that we call constellation. These constellations form a star map. Since the Earth rotates around on its axis, it seems that the stars are moving in the sky, but it is actually the Earth that is moving. Only one star remains on its place all the time. This is the Polaris or the North Star, which is located directly above the North Pole. Earth's axis points directly above the Polaris. That's why Polaris indicate the direction due north. Let's find some famous constellation. In the sky, we could see the constellation of Great Bear. And just above it is the Polaris, which lies right on the edge of another constellation called the Little Dipper, part of the Little Bear constellation. Let's find more constellations. This is Orion the Great Hunter. This is easy to recognize because of its belt made up of 3 stars. Another famous constellation is Cassiopeia. It looks like a letter W. There are much more constellations that we can see in the night sky. Try stargazing with your friends. Now, can you see that ball of fire? What do you call that ball of fire? Yes, that is a meteor. Meteors. Meteors are related to the flashes of light called shooting stars, sometimes seen streaking across the sky. But we call the same object by different names, depending on where it is. Meteoroids are objects in space that range in size from dust grains to small asteroids. Think of them as a space rocks. When meteoroids enter Earth's atmosphere, or that of another planet like Mars, at high speed and burn up the fireballs or shooting stars, they are now called meteors. When a meteoroid survives a trip through the atmosphere and hits the ground, it is now called a meteorite. Now, let us review the things that we have learned. The natural objects that we can see in the sky during the day are sun, clouds, and rainbow. During the night are moon, stars, constellations, and meteor. I want you to take note of this. There are objects that we can see in the sky with our naked eyes, but some can be seen using special instruments like telescope. Telescope is an optical instrument designed to make distant objects appear nearer. But this is not the only instrument that we could use to explore those natural objects. There's a lot more of them. Now, let's find out what are the activities that we could do during the day and during the night. What activities do you usually do during the daytime? Activities that we do during the day. We could go fishing, flying kite, biking, having a picnic with friends or family, doing laundries. These are just some of the examples that we could do during the day. Of course, there's a lot more of them that we could do under the sun. What about what activities do you do during the nighttime? Activities that we could do during the night. Stargazing, campfire, reading bedtime stories, and of course, sleeping. These are just some of the examples of the activities that we could do during the night. You could give some more of them as you wish. Here is a short summary of what we have learned today. There are different natural objects that can be seen in the sky in different time of the day. During the day, we can see the sun, clouds, and rainbow for some time. At night, we could see the moon, the stars, constellations, and even shooting stars. Our daily activities depends on the time of the day. At daytime, we usually play, work, study, have a picnic, do the laundries, and the like. During the night, we could have a bonfire and stargazing with our family and friends, read bedtime stories, and sleep. And that's all for today. I hope that you have learned something from my topic. With that, let me give to you what Sir Albert Einstein once said. I never teach my pupils, I only attempt to provide the conditions in which they can learn. So, my dear co-teachers, let us continue learning and pursuing good quality education for our learners and for our future. Thank you everyone. Keep safe and God bless us all.
Thank you very much, Ma'am Merly A. Ahero, of course, my friend, for sharing your expertise and knowledge. You comprehensively delivered and discussed your topic, and I'm pretty sure that everyone here understands it well. So, all right, partner, before we introduce our next speaker, let us greet and shout out our friends and colleagues. So, shout out, of course, to all teachers of St. Francis Elementary School, and of course, teachers of Limay District.
Yes, Sir Marvin! Shout out to my friends and colleagues from Arellano Elementary School and teachers of Orion District as well. Sit back and relax at marami pa tayong maririnig at matututunan sa ating mahuhusay na speakers. So I think ready na ang ating susunod na speaker. Partner, do the honor to introduce our next speaker.
Our next speaker is my friend and talented teacher of Arellano Elementary School. So teachers, let us welcome our next speaker all the way from Orion District, Ma'am Hasna Malaki, Teacher 3.
Hi everyone! Welcome to the Division Webinar Series on Science Content and Teaching Strategies in the context of the most essential learning competencies for Grade 3 Science teachers, 4th quarter. I am Hasna S. Malaki, Teacher 3 from Arellano Elementary School, Orion District. This topic is under the content standard, which is the types and effects of weather as they relate to daily activities, health, and safety. While the performance standard is to express ideas about safety measures during different weather conditions creatively. In the most essential learning competency, the objective is to describe the changes in the weather over a period of time. One of the first things you probably do every morning is to look out the window to see what the weather is like. Looking outside and listening to the day's forecast help you decide what clothes you will wear and maybe what you will do throughout the day. If you don't have school and the weather looks sunny, you might visit the park or go on a picnic. A rainy day might make you think about staying home to read or watch movie on Netflix. Let us define weather. The term weather refers to the temporary conditions of the atmosphere, the layer of the air that surrounds the earth. Weather is a mix of events that happen each day in our atmosphere. Weather is in different parts of the world and changes over minutes, hours, days, and weeks. Different places in the world tend to have different kinds of weather. Many things affect the weather, including the atmosphere, the sun, and the season. Weather is part of our daily lives. It changes from time to time. These changes happen due to some factors like the wind, cloud or sky condition, temperature, speed, and wind direction. The science of weather is called meteorology. Meteorologists study the weather and try to predict it. Predicting the weather is not easy as there are so many factors and variables involved. These changing components, along with the knowledge of atmospheric processes, help meteorologists forecast what the weather will be in the near future. It is important for us to know the weather because weather affects everyone and everything. What makes weather? There are 6 main components or parts of weather. These components describe the weather at any given time. Weather is the condition of the atmosphere resulting from the interpretation between the sun, the air, water, and the earth. Weather charts tells about the weather that determines the weather condition at any given time. The components of weather are air temperature, atmospheric pressure, wind, humidity, cloudiness, and precipitation. Do you feel warm or cold today? What makes you feel so? When the air around you is warm, then you feel warm. When the air around you is cold, then you feel cold. Air temperature is measured with a thermometer and refers to how hot or cold the atmosphere is. Meteorologists report temperature 2 ways, in Celsius and Fahrenheit. Why does air temperature change? The sun gives off energy in the form of light and heat. During the daytime, the side of the earth facing the sun receives the heat directly from the sun, making the land and water warm. This in turn makes the air temperature rise. During the nighttime, the side of the earth facing away the sun loses its sources of heat. The air temperature drops. Air temperature also changes with the altitude or elevation of a place. It is cooler on top of a mountain than in the surrounding lowlands. Hence, during summer, many people from lowlands go up to Baguio City because it is cool there. Atmospheric pressure. Atmospheric pressure is the weight of the atmosphere overhead. Changes in atmospheric pressure signal shifts in the weather. A high-pressure system usually brings cool temperature and clear skies. A low-pressure system can bring warmer weather, storms, and rain. Meteorologists express atmospheric pressure in a unit of measurement called atmosphere. The wind. Wind is the movement of air. Wind forms because of difference in temperature and atmospheric pressure between nearby regions. Winds tend to blow from areas of high pressure, where it's colder, to areas of low pressure, where it's warmer. Winds from different directions mix and pick up moisture in the air, forming clouds along the way and forming weather. Next is the humidity. Humidity refers to the amount of water vapor in the air. Water vapor is a gas in the atmosphere that helps mix clouds, rain, or snow. Sometimes, the air holds much less water vapor than it can hold at that temperature. In this case, humidity is low. When humidity is low, water, including the water in our sweat, evaporates fast and we feel cool. Sometimes the air holds almost all the water vapor it can hold at that temperature. In this case, humidity is high and evaporation is low. When humidity is high, we often comfortable and sticky. Cloudiness. Clouds can affect the amount of sunlight reaching the Earth's surface. Cloudy days are cooler than clear ones because clouds prevent more of the sun's radiation from reaching the Earth's surface. A cloud is a huge collection of these water droplets or ice crystals. Clouds remain afloat as long as they are warmer than the air around it. Clouds look white on a clear day, reflecting all the light from the sun. However, when clouds get dense, they cannot reflect all the sunlight. This makes the clouds appear dark. Precipitation. Excess water vapor will fall as precipitation. Clouds and precipitation occur when air cools below its saturation point. When clouds become dense, this means they are made of more water droplets. When this happens, the clouds become colder. When clouds collect enough water droplets, become colder and heavier than the air around it, the water droplets fall as precipitation. Precipitation may be in the form of rain, snow, sleet, or hail. When we want to record and predict the weather, there are lots of different ways and tools that we can use. There are lots of instruments to predict and measure the weather. All these instruments help make the weather maps we see on the news. Meteorologists use different kinds of instruments to collect data before they can predict the weather. The accuracy of measuring instruments has not changed, but the ability to analyze some information has allowed for a more accurate forecast. There are different weather instruments such as thermometer, barometer, rain gauge, wind vane, anemometer, hygrometer. A thermometer measures air temperature. Most thermometers are closed glass tubes containing liquids such as alcohol or mercury. When air around the tube hits the liquid expands and moves up the tube. A scale then shows that the actual temperature is. Barometer. A barometer measures pressure. It tells you whether or not the pressure is rising or falling. A rising barometer means sunny and dry conditions, while a falling barometer means stormy and wet conditions. Rain gauge. A rain gauge measures the amount of rain that has fallen over a specific time period. The rain gauge is composed of 3 parts: a funnel, a measuring tube, and a 4-inch diameter overflow tube, and a mounting bracket. We also have wind vane. A wind vane is an instrument that determines the direction from which the wind is blowing. A wind vane, also known as weather vane, are often attached to the roofs of buildings to indicate wind direction. Anemometer. An anemometer measures wind speed. The cups catch the wind, turning a dial attached to the instrument. The dial shows the wind speed. The stronger the wind blows, the faster the wheel rotates. The anemometer counts the number of rotation which is used to calculate wind speed. we have hygrometer. A hygrometer measures the water vapor content of air or the humidity. This is also referred to as the relative humidity in the environment. All weather meters that measures relative humidity are also called as hygrometers. There are other weather instruments like sling psychometer. It measures relative humidity using the cooling effect of evaporation. Windsock. Windsock is a conical textile tube which resembles a giant sock, designed to indicate wind direction and relative wind speed. A weather balloon. It measures weather conditions higher up in the atmosphere. Your eyes are one of the best ways to help detect the weather. Always keep an eye at the sky and you'll usually be on top of weather conditions. The weather affects us in many ways. Day-to-day changes in weather can influence how we feel and the way we look at the world. Weather changes are recorded on weather reports to inform the people so they can prepare for their activities. The key concepts are weather. Weather refers to the temporary conditions of the atmosphere. The science of weather is called meteorology. Meteorologists study the weather and try to predict it. Weather components. 6 main components or parts of weather are air temperature, atmospheric pressure, wind, humidity, cloudiness, and precipitation. Weather instruments. Different instruments to record and predict the weather are thermometer, barometer, rain gauge, wind vane, anemometer, hygrometer, and others. Before we end this discussion, I want to share with you this quote from famous novelist Marcel Proust. A change in the weather is sufficient to recreate the world and ourselves. Severe weather can disrupt many people's lives because of the destruction they cause. But if we will help our motherland to heal, it will create again a better world that we can live in. These are the references for this topic. Thank you for listening and all glory to God. Keep safe and God bless everyone.
Thank you very much, Ma'am Hasna Malaki, for your additional knowledge. We really appreciate our time and effort in sharing your mastery. Co-teacher ko po yan si Ma'am Hasna and truly napakasipag at napakahusay na guro. I'm very much proud of you, Ma'am Hasna, so keep it up. Before ko pong i-introduce ang ating next speaker, let me read this to you. Teaching strategies refers to methods used to help the students learn the desired course contents and be able to develop achievable goals in the future. It also identifies the different available learning methods to enable to develop the right strategy to deal with the target group identified. And to share her knowledge on teaching a strategy, let us all welcome our next speaker, a teacher one from Justice Emilio Angeles Gancayco Memorial National High School, Miss Anne Linwell B. Isidro. Please give her a virtual clap.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Andelwin B. Isidro, Teacher 1 of Justice Emilio Angeles Gancayco Memorial High School. The COVID-19 pandemic has resulted in school shuts all across the world. Children are out of the classroom. Here in the Philippines, DepEd adopted the modular type of learning. No teachers teaching in front of the class, no classmates to interact with, no laboratory to perform the experiment. As a result, education has changed dramatically, with a distinctive rise of e-learning and virtual lab app, whereby teaching is undertaken remotely and on digital platforms. Today, we will get to know the virtual lab app. What is a virtual science lab? A virtual science laboratory is an on-screen simulator that helps test ideas and observe results. They can tinker with laboratory equipment that behaves in almost the same way as it would in a real environment. Virtual laboratories, or virtual labs for short, are a great way for learners to practice in a safe, online environment. Through virtual science lab games and engineering simulation software, learners can interact with elements, machines, and interfaces before or instead trying them out in real life. Now, let's find out the challenges between the virtual and physical laboratory. Let's have first the physical lab. Number 1. Limited access. Equipment and materials are limited. Not every learner will have the chance to conduct experiments. Number 2. Risk of accidents. Experimenting with equipment and hazardous substances is particularly dangerous when learners are inexperienced. The last one, expensive lab equipment. Learners don't get to experiment with modern as they often out of budget. Therefore, their learning experience is incomplete. A virtual laboratory, though, can tackle those challenges one by one, and virtual labs come with a bunch of benefits. Are you ready to hear them? Great! Here are some of them. First and foremost, guarantee safety. In a virtual laboratory, learners can try all kinds of experiments without the risk of damaging equipment or injuring themselves. They can also test different scenarios, compare, and determine which one is the most effective without having to try them out in real life. Next, create a true-to-life learning experience. Learners often have to make guesses about how a laboratory equipment operates, or sometimes the outcome of a piece of experiment. They may also ignore limitations or malfunctions that could happen in a real work environment. Virtual labs help build a realistic learning environment so that learners get complete learning and are more prepared. The third one, give unlimited time to experiment. Learners can repeat experiments as many times as needed and practice at their own pace. Also, they can speed up training as they don't have to wait before some equipment becomes available. And lastly, engage learners. Lectures and presentations can be demotivating when it comes to hands-on jobs, like chemical experiments or construction projects. You can capture learners' attentions, though, by giving them the opportunity to test those procedures in a virtual lab. So, are you ready to see how the virtual lab works? Great! I have here the science experiment in School Lab Learn with Fun. It brings you a lot of fun science experiments with instructions that you can do at home. They are easy to understand and perform with. You can learn to make your own science project with these 3 amazing science tricks. This app contains 3 exciting levels to perform. Just choose your mode and play. And after completing the experiment, a conclusion will be presented for learning and assistance in school projects. Here are the 3 modes or game levels. First, do the experiment. The next one, be an alchemist. And lastly, make compounds. Let us have first the do the experiments. It features best science experiments having simple apparatus and materials used for each experiment. There is also a voice, step-by-step and guide instructions to perform the experiments. Let's try this one. Generate electricity from potato. For the materials, we have bulb, copper wire, knife, magnet, and potato.
Let's learn how to generate electricity from a potato. Take a potato. Now take a knife and make a small hole inside the potato enough to fit a bulb. Take 2 magnets and place on each side of potato. Take a copper wire. Now insert the copper wire into these magnets and insert ends into potato. Repeat it. Now place the bulb in the hole. Wow! See, potato can be used to generate electricity. Morales, potato juice contains many water-soluble chemicals that may cause a chemical reaction with one or both of our copper wire. So we get some electricity from that.
Let's have another experiment. Blowing candles with carbon dioxide, make your own water pump, make colored bottled rain, rising water, inflating balloons automatically. Let's have this one, inflating balloon automatically. For the materials, baking soda, balloon, big funnel, vinegar, plastic bottle, and small funnel.
Let's learn how to inflate a balloon using baking soda and vinegar. Take an empty bottle. Now put the funnel on the bottle head. Now Now carefully pour the vinegar into the bottle. Take a balloon. Place another funnel over the mouth of balloon. Now add some amount of baking soda and remove the funnel. Then carefully fit the balloon over the bottle opening and be careful not to drop baking soda into vinegar yet. Wow! See the reaction and balloon inflating automatically. Moral is, when baking soda and vinegar reacts, it releases carbon dioxide. The gas leaves the liquid mixture and expands throughout the bottle and the balloon, inflating it.
Now let's move on to be an alchemist. Just as the name suggests, you have to be an alchemist in this level. Mix elements to create the element you have been asked in each levels. Every combination is a little puzzle in itself to solve. Try to unlock every elements that are shown in the right panel. Let's try to be an alchemist this time. What are the elements we need to produce sound? Let's have air, and wave. Correct. What about for the river? We need water and mountain. Well done. The last level is to make compounds. It is a unique gameplay to learn molecular formula of different compounds. You will be asked the compound on the screen. You'll have to move the beaker left or right with taps and collect the right molecule to make the right compound. One wrong molecule will make the level fail. So what are you waiting for? A whole world is waiting to be discovered. So let us learn some basic and interesting about science with the science experiments in school. Love, learn with fun.
How to get this app? On your device, open Google Play Store or visit the Google Play Store on a web browser. Search or browse for content. Select an item and then install. And then just follow the on-screen instructions to complete the transactions and get the content.
That's the end of my discussion. and I hope you learned something from it. Thank you. God bless and keep safe, everyone.
Thank you very much, Ma'am Ann Isidro. You know what, partner, as teachers, we have to use different strategies or even style in teaching so we can easily attain or even achieve our goals. Right, partner?
Definitely, partner. We are lucky that there are teachers in our division who are very much willing to share their expertise. Kaya nga pag sinabing taga-Bataan yan, mahuhusay yan sa lahat ng larangan. Agree ba kayo dyan mga ka-FB Live namin dyan? So thumbs up nga kayo. Mag-agree nga kayo dyan sa ating comment or chat box. Kung kayo ay agree na ang lahat o pag sinabi nating taga-Bataan, mahuhusay yan sa lahat ng larangan. So, yan. Marami nang nagko-comment sa ating FB Live. Yan. Tama yan, ano? So, lahat tayo ay mahuhusay. Hindi man magkakapareho ang ating talento, pero for sure, anumang talento yan, tsak may lalabas na taga-Bataan na mahuhusay at magagaling.
All right, and now for additional knowledge, let us welcome our next speaker. He is a teacher one from Nagbalao National High School, Morong District. So, ladies and gentlemen, a virtual applause for Mr. Alvin Pastolero.
Good day everyone, this is Alvin S. Pastalero, Teacher 1 of Nagbalayong National High School. Welcome to Division Webinar on Science Content and Teaching Strategies in the context of most essential learning competencies for Grade 3 teachers. At the end of this session, you are expected to 1. Identify teaching strategies with the use of different learning mobile apps that can be used in the new normal and how it works. 2. Recognize the importance of each teaching and learning apps in the new normal. Why teaching and learning app is needed in the new normal? Because in these changing times, students are more driven on using mobile phone for every purpose. Learning is a continuous process and the focus has now completely shifted to e-learning. Due to the mobile phones and various features-oriented applications, students can learn at their own pace and take their time at understanding things as everything is just a click away. To address the challenges encountered by the teachers and the students right now, these teaching and learning apps could be a solution to still deliver a quality and relevant education amidst of the pandemic. Some teaching and learning apps that can be used in the new normal are the virtual blackboard and the Kahoot app. First, let's discuss about the virtual blackboard. What is a virtual blackboard? Virtual blackboard is an educational management tool and virtual learning environment. It is designed to act as a virtual learning space for students to view resources, share work, communicate with each other, and access support from their teachers. This learning mobile app could be useful for both teachers and students. This app can help the teacher to deliver a quality and relevant discussion where they can create their video lesson using this app by only capturing an image of a particular lesson. Then they can also edit or enhance the captured image using this app. Moreover, they can also record its presentation to make it as a video lesson wherein the student may access this video lesson using their gadget and internet connectivity. When the students already download it using this virtual blackboard, they can watch the video lesson for several times until they have the mastery of a particular topic. Now, let's have an overview with the parts of a virtual blackboard. First, we have the start page. In this page, it's composed of three main options, namely the new for creating a new file. Second is the view to watch all the imported or the created files. And lastly, share to share the files on a WhatsApp or any means of sharing files. Next is the slide index page. You can create slides for your required subject and chapters by capturing images or by browsing images from your device. New file page is a part of a virtual blackboard where you can select the subject name and chapter name, add title and description to create a new file. Another part of a virtual blackboard is the record lecture page, where there are options for changing backgrounds, using slides, adjusting pen strokes, different colored pen strokes, and many more, which make it easier to create a good video with your voice over. Share file page. You can download the virtual Blackboard video lecture files which you have received through WhatsApp and import them to watch in the app. Import shared files. You can download the virtual Blackboard video lecture files which have sent to you through WhatsApp and import them to watch in the app. Three steps in using a virtual Blackboard. First, capture book pages and load existing image slides. Teachers can capture book pages, image, notes, and make slides easily for teaching. Already created slides can also be browsed for making videos. Second, make less size lecture videos for all subjects. Teachers will get complete freedom to refer to all their teaching reference material so that they can create the best lecture videos for their students wherever and whenever they want. Third, shared a lecture video. Teachers can share captured video lecture file to their student in just one click through WhatsApp. Sharing of files to students is very easy if you make WhatsApp group for your students. Benefits of using virtual Blackboard. 1. Less size. The videos created in this app are of lesser size, hence it requires a very less space. 2. Easy sharing. The file is small in size, it becomes easy to share. The files created in this app can be easily shared using mail or by using WhatsApp. 3. High quality. If videos are zoomed or enlarged, then the quality will not degrade. The quality will maintain as it is. 4. User-friendly. This app is easy to use. It has a very friendly user interface. 5. Generic solution. The application can be used for various purposes. Its use is not limited to making educational videos only. Using this application can make quick notes for any lectures, discussions, and meetings. 6. Sync with audio. While creating media file, audio also gets recorded. 7. Offline use. Needs minimal internet connection. It does not need any internet connection to make media file. 8. For everyone. It's made for all types of users. These applications can be used by people of any age group. Also, it can be used by people belonging to different occupations. Now, let's have a video tutorial on how to use the virtual blackboard. Okay, first, we're going to install the virtual blackboard app in our devices. We can download this app using the Play Store installed in our devices. So we have Virtual Blackboard for Teacher, and Virtual Blackboard Pro. Now I'm going to choose Virtual Blackboard for Teacher. So this is the overview or the details about this app. Now let's install this app on our devices. Now let's open this app in our devices. Now we're going to click allow in order to access our personal devices. Now write the user's information. Just write your full name, your phone number. You can also upload our photo. So now the user information successfully saved. We can now create our slide. So select your subject, select your chapter. We have Science 3, Quarter 3, Module 1. Then we will write the title of this recorded video lesson. So, ang mga nagpapagalaw sa mga bagay. So, we can also write the description here. wherein it can be the brief summary of our lesson. Now we're going to upload an image where we can of a particular lesson wherein we can enhance it. Now let's upload a photo. So this photo is all about the quarter 3 module 1, ang mga nagpapagalaw sa mga bagay. Sa araling ito, inaasahan na matututuhan ang mga bagay na nagpapagalaw sa iba't ibang bagay at maisalalarawan mo ang galaw ng mga bagay. Pag-aralan at suriin ang mga larawan. Larawan A, larawan B, larawan C, larawan D. So, in this app, while you are highlighting some information, you already recording your video lesson. When you record, it can also record your voice. Now we are going to enhance our created slide. We can adjust the scale, the brightness. Okay, after we're done, press the check mark. So afterwards, it's time. We already have our created file. Now we can also view our recorded video lesson. Now we're going to share our recorded lesson. In sharing the recorded video lesson, we can write a message where this topic is all about, or we can also write a brief summary of our lesson. Then we are going to attach their file. We can send it file in their app using WhatsApp, or we can also share it using our email. Then the student will only have the access for this imported video using this virtual blackboard. If you don't have virtual blackboard app, you can not access the recorded video lesson made by your teacher. Another app that teachers and students can utilize in this new normal is what we call the Kahoot app. What is a Kahoot app? Kahoot is a game-based learning platform that makes it easy to create, share, and play learning games or trivia quizzes in minutes. This free cloud-based tool makes for a very useful way to bring learning online without compromising but actually enhancing teaching. It's free to use and not only fun for a student but also social, allowing them to interact in the physical world as well as digitally. It's all about a research-based learning, making it open enough to work across the age range and student abilities. So this learning mobile app can also good this distance learning, wherein it focus in assessing the students whether they understand a particular lesson. It also assess for the teacher where they can evaluate themselves, where they become an effective and efficient teacher. This app can help the educators to assess the learners. How to get started? 1. Go to getkahoot.com and sign up for a free account. 2. Select sign up, then pick teacher followed by your institution, be it school, higher education, or school administration. 3. Able to register using your email and a password or with a Google or Microsoft account. Ideal if your school already uses Google Classroom or Microsoft Teams. Once you are signed up, you can get started making your own quiz or using one of the many options already created, or go for a bit of both, building a new quiz but using the half a million question. How does Kahoot work? 1. It offers a question and then optional multiple choice answer. This can be accompanied with rich media such as image and videos to add more interactivity. 2. It's possible for teachers to set a quiz and wait to see the scores as students complete. 3. Teachers can also review the results and run analytics from game reports for formative assessment so as to better judge the progress being made in the class. So since the main purpose why this app created is for the assessment, we need to assess our student whether they understand a particular lesson or not. So from this app, we can have already an analysis where this app provided when the students complete a particular test. Who can use Kahoot? 1. It will work across most devices including laptops, tablets, smartphones, Chromebooks, and desktop machines. 2. It runs online in a browser window as well as in app form, with iOS and Android versions available. So anyone can access this app, whether it is installed in their personal devices or whether they can use it in their browser. What are the best features of a Kahoot app? 1. Boost is a great feature that allows students to play against their own previous high score, making a game out of improving performance. This allows for going over a quiz more than once, helping to make more information sink in at deeper level. Since the main purpose of this app is for the assessment, so when the student take the quiz more than one time, he or she can have the mastery of a particular lesson. 2. Analysis. Improve each student understanding by using the analytic of result to see which student has struggled in what so you can help them in that area. Since this app could provide an immediate report of the student performance, we can identify on what particular learning competency that our students have difficulty. 3rd, copy. Take advantage of the wealth of quizzes created by other educators and already available in Kahoot, which are available to use freely. You can even combine multiple Kahoots for an ultimate quiz. So, since this app provides a question bank wherein the quiz are created by other educators that we can use in our quiz, and also we can create our own quiz or we can combine the quiz that we have created and the quiz created by the other educators. Next, assess student first. A Kahoot quiz can be a great way to check student knowledge before you start teaching a subject to help avoid making too simplistic or too complicated for the class. So since in our real life or in a face-to-face scenario, we have what we call the review of the lesson. So this app could help the teachers to review the past lesson to our students. And lastly, it uses media. Add in videos right from the YouTube very easily. This is a great way to have students watch and learn knowing they are going to be questioned after the video ends. You can also add image and in the case of the file iOS app, your own drawings. We can use media. We can use an image or a video to make our quiz more interesting. How to make your Kahoot? 1. Log in and click Create. Log in at kahoot.com. Click Create in the top right corner of the screen and choose Quiz. It only takes minutes to create Kahoot. 2. Add questions, answers, and image tree. Follow the instructions on screen to add question, answers, image, and video. You can add multiple choice question, true or false, survey question, and if you have paid subscription, you can also add slide and polls. Toggle the timer for each question and don't forget to add image. 3. Add title, description, and cover page. Enter a title and description in a Kahoot summary to summarize it and help other users find it easily. A great cover image will ensure your Kahoot stands out and attracts more players. First, open the browser on your personal devices. Write on the search line the Kahoot. As you can see, Kahoot is on the top list of the result. Click and follow this link. Now it's time for you to sign up. It's for free. It will offer you as a teacher or as a student, as a professional or a professional. Since I am a teacher, I'm going to choose the teacher. Afterwards, it will require you to choose school, higher education, administration, and then you are going to sign up with your email. Enter your email, then enter your password. After you sign up, Kahoot will offer you if you want to continue for free or to try the Kahoot Pro, Kahoot Premium, or Kahoot Premium Plus. You can buy it, but for me, I'm going to use the continue for free. Then afterwards, it will require you to fill up some information like your name, your country. So you're going to choose the Philippines. Afterwards, you're going to enter your school. Then save and continue. Then it will offer you to play demo game or create a Kahoot or host a Kahoot. Now, I'm going to create my own Kahoot. I will click this. It will offer you a different. So some templates are not available for free. That's why I'm going to click this button, create. Afterwards, it will have need enter your title. So I will enter Science 3. It will also write your description if you want. Then choose your language. It will be chosen English. Okay, afterwards, choose your visibility mode. If you want to see by others, write for everyone, or if you want to see your own, choose only you. Afterwards, press done. Now, you're going to add a question. You can add a question or you can use the question created by other educators in the question bank. But we will leave this page. We will create our own questions. Okay, add question. So you can choose whether multiple choice, true or false, type your answer, puzzle, so on and so forth. Now, you're going to type a question. Ang blank anong lupa ang pabilog at matulis ang tuktok. So, meron tayong isang question. Next, we're going to set the time. If you want 20 seconds, 5 seconds, time limit is the time where the student will answer it. Then the points, you can set for standard, double points, or no points. Okay? So, below this panel, you're going to edit the choices. As you can see different shape. So we have for triangle, bundok. Then for diamond, burol. For circle, we have kapatagan. Then for square, we have Bulkan. So for the correct answer, you're going to put a check mark. Then if you want to add another question, just do the same process we have done a while ago. So we will type another question. You can also add image to make your test more interesting. So, anong anyong tubig ang may pinaka malawak at pinaka malalim so we are going to write our choices. So same, we can see again the shapes, the triangle, the diamond, the circle, and the square. So sa triangle, we're going to have ilog. For diamond, we have sapa. For circle, we have karagatan. And for square, we have talon. Next, same process, press done. Now, Kahoot will validate. So since you did not choose the correct answer for question number 2, back to edit, then put a check mark for the correct answer, press done. So Kahoot is now validating. So afterwards, you can press done. So now, go to your My Kahoot, click the test that you have made. You can play it. When you play it, it will give you two options, teach or assign. When you teach, it will give you right now. When you assign, it will serve as their homework. So now, you're going to choose. We have the classic mode and we have the team mode. So, below, we have the settings. We can put a lovely music wherein it is the most interesting. So now we will choose the classic mode. So after you choose classic mode, it will load the game pin where the students will need in order to enter to the Kahoot. So for the student, we have what we call the Kahoot.it. So Kahoot.it is a website especially created for the students. So now you're going to paste the given pin code or the game pin. Paste it and enter. So you're connecting to Kahoot. And now it's time for you to write your nickname. So it will be Jonah. You can also, another student will log in using their personal devices. So, same process, you're going to enter the website kahoot.it. Afterwards, paste the game pin. Then they will enter. Then also they will enter the nickname. So, for the second student, it named Nilita. So now, we will return to the student page, teacher's page rather, then play. So, as you can see, the questions are loading. Anong anyong lupa ang pabilog at matuloy sa tuktok? So, the student will choose their answer. On the student page or student website, they will say the shapes. Okay? So, 1 got the correct answer. So, that's the scoreboard. So, now, press the next for the next question. Okay, so we're already done in our Kahoot. So now, this app will give you a report whether your students need a remediation for that topic. So later, this app will reveal if your students failed or if your students already understand your lesson. So view the report. It will reveal that 75% correct. Well played. You have 2 players. Questions 2 times in 2 minutes. So, difficult question. Great job. No one found any question too challenging. No one seems to need help. So, as you can see, it will give you a feedback regarding the performance of your student. So now, we're going to leave this page. So this is the ranking, Jonah rank 1 and Nelita rank 2. For the feedback, okay, now we're going to back with our account. Now we're going to log out our Kahoot account. Then when you want to use again the Kahoot, you're going to log in using your email and password. But you can also install the Kahoot app in your mobile phone so that every time that you use Kahoot, you don't need to visit the Kahoot website. Okay, that's all for Kahoot. Thank you for watching and listening.
Once again, thank you very much for your expertise and dedication, speakers. Congratulations also. But this time, partner, may makakasama tayong dalawang teachers na bumuo at gumawa ng sample video lessons in science. Ngayong araw ay aking ipinakikilala ang Master Teacher 1 from Maribelas National High School, Cabcaben, for her sample video lesson. A round of applause for Ma'am Riser Borja Santuyo.
Mga bata, magsitayo po tayo para sa isang panalangin.
Tayo'y manalangin. Aming Diyos na makapangyarihan sa lahat, salamat po sa araw na ito. Salamat po sa magandang kalusugan at sa mga biyaya na aming natatanggap araw-araw. Tunay na kaibuti mo po, Panginoon, kaya patuloy na pinupuri at sinasamba ka namin. Dalangin po namin, nagabayan niyo po kami sa araw na ito. Tulungan mo po kami na maunawaan ang lahat ng mga araling ituturo sa amin. Bigyan niyo po kami ng talino, pagmamahal at kalakasan sa aming pag-aaral. Pagpalain mo po ang aming bansa, ang aming paaralan, ang aming mga guro at mga magulang. Salamat po sa pangalan ng aming Panginoong Hesukristo. Amen.
Tara na mga bata, oras na ng siyensya. Maghanda at makinig, magkumpara at magmasid. Tara na, mag-aral na, oras na ng siyensya. Mag-experiment at mag-analisa, mag-interpret at mag-predict pa. Tara na mga bata, oras na ng siyensya. Maghanda at makinig, magkumpara at magmasid. Tara na, mag-aral na, oras na ng siyensya. Mag-experiment at mag-analisa, mag-interpret at mag-predict pa. It's so exciting talaga. It's so exciting talaga. It's so amazing talaga. It's so amazing talaga. Hey kids, join lahat tayo nang tayo ay matuto.
Magandang buhay sa inyong lahat. Sa araw na ito ay isang bagong aralin ang ating tatalakayin. Handa na bang bawat isa para makinig? Inuutusan ko ang lahat na kumuha ng isang malinis na papel at subukin na sagutin ang nakahandang katanungan bago ko simulan ang aking kwento. Okay, kung handa na ang lahat, atin ang simulan ang pagsagot dito. Kay ganda ng buwan, kay init ng araw, kay ganda ng mga bituin, saan sila gabi. Ayon kay Impong Tasyo, ganito raw ang kwento. Ang alamat ng araw, buwan at bituin. Noong unang panahon, malapit ang langit sa lupa. Iisang lalaki at iisang babae ang nakatira noon sa mundo. Ang pagtatanim ng palay ang kanilang ikinabubuhay. Noon, binabayo pa nila ang palay bago sila magsaing. Kung ano ang hirap ng pagtatanim, ay ganoon din ang hirap ng pagbabayo ng palay. Minsan, maagang umalis ng bahay ang lalaki upang magtanim ng palay. Naiwang nag-iisang babae sa bahay. Upang hindi tanghaliin ang pagsasaing, naghanda naman ang babae ng pagbabayo ng palay. Inalis din niya ang kanyang suklay. Sinabit niya ang mga ito sa kalapit na punong kahoy. Nakita rin ng babae na walang gatong ang apoy sa tabi ng punong kahoy. Upang hindi mamatay, nanguha siya ng kahoy at kanya itong ginatungan. Saka pa lamang siya nakapagsimulang magbayo ng palay. Nagbabayo pa ang babae nang dumating ang lalaki. Upang maging madali ang pagbabayo, tinulungan ng lalaki ang babae. Napansin ng lalaki na maliit ang halong ginagamit niya kaya mahina itong ibayo. Pinalitan niya ito ng higit na malaking halo. Sa tuwing itataas ng lalaki ang halo, tumatama ito sa langit. Tumawag at nanalangin ang lalaki kay Bathala. Bathala! Tumaas po sana ang langit. Sa isang iglap, tumugong ng malakas. Tumaas ang langit. Nadala sa pagtaas ng langit ang suklay at kwintas ng babae. Nadala rin ang palayok at ang apoy na nasa tabi ng puno. Ang suklay ay naging biyak na buwan. Ang mga butol ng kwintas ay naging bituin. Ang palayok ay naging bilog na buwan. At naging araw naman ang nagliliyab na apoy. Ngayon, ang mga ito ay makikita natin sa langit. Kapag madilim ang gabi, kumikislap ang mga bituin at maaalala natin ang butil ng kwintas ng babae. Sa pagbilog at pagliit ng buwan, maaalala naman natin ang suklay at palayok ng babae. Sa pagsikat ng araw, tuwing umaga ay maaalala naman natin ang nagliliyab na apoy na nakasama sa pagtaas ng langit. Dito po nagtatapos ang ating kwento.
Diyan nagtatapos ang ating kwento. Sa inyong palagay, ano ang kinalaman ng kwento sa ating bagong aralin? May nais ba sa klase ko ang nais sumagot? Okay class, ako'y may katanungan. Ano-ano ba ang mga bagay na nabanggit sa kwento?
Tama. Araw, buwan, bituin. Ano pa? Palayok, puno, suklay. Ang mga bagay na nabanggit ay maaaring maiuri sa dalawa. Ito ang natural na bagay at ang hindi-natural na bagay. Sa ating kwento, bibigyan natin ng diin ang katuturan at kahalagahan ng araw, buwan at bituin at ang iba pang mga bagay na natural na nakikita sa kalangitan.
Okay class, ang paksang tatalakayin natin sa araw na ito ay tungkol sa mga natural na bagay na nakikita sa kalangitan sa araw at gabi.
Wow!
Layunin. Una, na ilalarawan ang mga bagay na makikita sa kalangitan. Ikalawa, natutukoy ang mga bagay na nakikita sa kalangitan kung araw at gabi. Ikatlo, na ibibigay ang mga kahalagahan ng mga natural na bagay na nakikita sa kalangitan. Kahit sino mula sa klase ang nakakaalam ng pagkakaiba ng natural at di-natural na bagay? Natural na bagay katulad ng dagat, bundok, puno, ito ay mga bagay na nilikha ng Diyos. Samantalang ang di-natural na bagay katulad ng upuan, bayong, lamesa at damit, ito ay mga bagay na nilikha ng tao. Pagmasdan ng larawan. Ano-ano ang mga natural na bagay sa kalangitan ang makikita kung araw? At ano-ano naman ang mga natural na bagay sa kalangitan ang makikita kung gabi? Okay, kung handa ng lahat, ipalakpak ang kamay at ipadyak ang paa at sabihing sabay-sabay, handa na akong makinig. Ready, get set, go! Handa na akong makinig! Mga natural na bagay na nakikita sa kalangitan sa araw. Una, araw, katangian at kahalagahan. Tara na at ating pag-aralan ang Haring Araw. Ano ang araw? Ang araw ba ay isang uri ng bituin? Ang araw ay isang bituin ng ating solar system. Bagaman ito ang pinakamalaking bagay sa solar system, ngunit sa pangkalahatan, ito ay sinasaalang-alang bilang katamtamang sukat o medium-sized na bituin. Ito ay isang kumikinang na bola ng mga gas na binubuo ng 69.5% hydrogen, 28% na helium, 2% carbon, nitrogen at oxygen at 0.5% ng magnesium, asupre, silicon at iron. Ito ay may lapat na 1,393,000 kilometers at may mass na 330,000 na beses ang mass kaysa sa mundo. Ito ay may temperatura na mula 6,000 degrees Celsius sa ibabaw nito hanggang sa humigit kumulang 15 million degrees Celsius sa gitnang bahagi nito. Kahalagahan ng araw. Ang araw ay tinatawag na main source of energy o pangunahing mapagkukunan ng halos lahat ng mga enerhiya sa mundo. Ang mga halaman ay nagko-convert ng liwanag na nagmumula sa araw, tinatawag na light energy, patungo sa enerhiyang chemical or chemical energy sa pamamagitan ng photosynthesis. Ang mga hayop ay kumakain ng mga halaman at gumagamit ng parehong lakas ng chemical para sa lahat ng kanilang mga aktibidad. Mga bata, panoorin natin ang video clip na susunod.
Ang sobrang init na nanggagaling sa araw ay may masama ding epekto sa ating mundo. Kapag matagal tayong nabilad sa araw, maaaring magkaroon tayo ng sakit sa balat tulad ng sunburn o bungang araw, kaya mainam na maglagay ng sunblock cream upang maiwasan ang pagkasunog ng balat. Maaari ding ma-dehydrate o magkulang ang tubig sa ating katawan kapag nabilad tayo sa init ng araw, kaya ugaliing uminom ng maraming tubig. Ang paggamit ng payong at sombrero ay isa ding paraan ng pag-iingat laban sa masamang epekto ng sobrang init ng araw. Para naman mapangalagaan ang ating mata, huwag tumitig ng direkta sa araw. Ang sobrang init din ng araw ay nakaapekto sa mga halaman at mga hayop. Natutuyot ang mga lupa, nalalanta ang mga halaman at maaaring ikamatay ng mga hayop kapag sobrang init ng araw.
Ang video clip na ipinakita kanina ay nagbibigay sa atin ng kaalaman kung ano ang dapat nating gawin sa ating kalusugan. Bunga ng sobrang init ng araw. At ipinapakita rin ng video clip na ito ang masamang dulot ng sobrang init ng araw sa halaman at sa hayop. Ngayon, alam na natin ang ating gagawin kapag tayo ay nakakaramdam ng sobrang init ng araw sa ating katawan. Bahaghari. Alam niyo ba?
Paano nabubuo ang bahaghari?
Nabubuo ang bahaghari kapag ang maliliit na patak ng ulan ay nasisinagan ng araw. Ito ay paarko na may 7 kulay. Ang mga kulay ng bahaghari ay pula, kahel, dilaw, berde, asul, indigo at lila.
Dobleng bahaghari. Ang mga dobleng bahaghari ay nabuo kapag ang sikat ng araw ay nagre-reflect ng 2 beses sa loob ng isang patak na ulan na may kulay lila na umaabot sa mata ng mga nagmamasid na nagmumula sa mataas na mga patak ng ulan at ang pulang liwanag mula sa mas mababang mga patak ng ulan. Halina, lakbayin natin ang kaharian ng ulap. Nakita na ba kayo ng ulap? Saan ba natin nakikita ang mga ito? Ano ang ulap? Ulap. Ang ulap ay makikita sa atmosfera na nagmumula sa pagtuyo at pagsingaw ng tubig mula sa balat ng daigdig. Bakit may mga ulap? Kapag tumataas ang hangin sa himpapawid, mas lumalamig ito at mas mababa ang presyon. Kapag lumamig ang hangin, hindi nito kayang hawakan ang lahat ng singaw ng tubig. Ang hangin ay hindi rin maaaring maghawak ng maraming tubig kapag bumaba ang presyon ng hangin. Ang singaw ay nagiging maliit na mga patak ng tubig o mga kristal na yelo at nabuo ang isang ulap. Una, cumulus. Ito ay tanyag dahil sa malabulak na anyo. Malalaki ang pagkakabuo at mapuputi. Madalas ito nakikita kapag maaraw o mainit ang panahon. Ikalawa, cirrus. Ito ang pinakamataas na ulap. Malabalahibo ang anyo nito, mahahaba, maninipis at mapuputi din ang kulay nito. Ika-4, stratus. Ito ay tulad din ng malabalahibo, ngunit nasa mas mababang bahagi. Tulad din ng ulap nimbus, kulay abo ang mga ulap nito, ngunit hindi ito nagdudulot ng pag-ulan. Pinoprotektahan ng ulap ang ating mundo laban sa solar at sa infrared radiation na nagmumula sa araw. Ang mga ulap ay kinakailangan din upang maganap ang pag-ulan at sa makatuwid ay isang mahalagang bahagi ng siklo o tinatawag nating water cycle. Ito ay may mahalagang papel sa pag-init at paglamig ng ating planeta. Ito ay nagbibigay sa atin ng isang mas malamig na klima sa mundo, kaya masisiyahan ba tayo ng walang mga ulap? Gayunpaman, habang patuloy umiinit ang klima ng mundo, hindi natin laging maaasahan ang paglamig na epekto na dulot ng ulap. Mga bata, natapos na nating talakayin ang mga natural na bagay na nakikita sa kalangitan sa araw. Ngayon naman, tayo ay dumako sa mga natural na bagay na nakikita sa kalangitan sa gabi. Una na rito ay ang buwan. Mabubuhay ba tayo ng walang buwan? Buwan ang pinakamaliwanag at pinakamalaking bagay sa ating kalangitan sa gabi. Ginagawa ng buwan ang ating mundo na isang mas kaakit-akit na planeta sa pamamagitan ng pagmomoderate ng wobble ng ating tahanan sa aksis nito na humahantong sa isang matatag na klima. Ang buwan ay walang sariling taglay na liwanag. Ito ay makikita lamang bilang isang resulta ng liwanag ng araw na nagre-reflect dito. Kaya ang buwan ay tinawag na non-luminous. Kung ang ating mundo ay umiikot sa araw, ang buwan ay umiikot sa ating mundo. Tanging permanenteng natural na satellite ng ating mundo. Ang buwan ay bilog, hindi nagbabago ng hugis. May mapagkakataong nakikita natin ang buwan kahit sa umaga. Palaging ipinapakita sa mundo ang parehong mukha ng buwan. Sa pag-ikot ng ating mundo, umiikot din ang buwan. Ang pagbabago ng posisyon ng ating mundo at ng buwan ang dahilan kung bakit may nakikita tayong iba't ibang hugis o mukha ng buwan o tinatawag na yugto ng buwan o phases of the moon sa Ingles. Ito ay dahil ang ibang bahagi ay nasisinagan ng araw, ang bahaging nasisinagan ng araw ay ang ating nakikita. Narito ang iba't ibang mukha ng buwan. Una, new moon. Ang buwan ay nasa pagitan ng Earth at Sun. Ito ang unang mukha ng buwan na madalas ay hindi nakikita. Pangalawa, crescent moon. Nakikita kapag ang ikaapat na bahagi ng buwan ang naliliwanagan. Ito ay kahugis ng letrang C. Half moon o quarter moon. Nakikita kapag ang kalahati ng buwan ang naliliwanagan. Ito ay kahugis ng malaking letrang D. At ikaapat, full moon. Nakikita ito kapag ang buong bahagi ng buwan ay naliliwanagan. Sa gabi, ito ang pinakamalaki at pinakamaliwanag. Ang hugis nito ay malaking letrang O. Ano ang epekto ng buwan sa mga tao at kapaligiran? Ang aktibidad o gawain ng mga tao ay naaapektuhan ng paggalaw ng buwan at ng ating mundo. Nagkakaroon ng alon o tides depende sa galaw ng buwan. Ang alon o tides ay ang pagtaas, paglaki o pagliit, pagbaba ng tubig na siyang nakakaapekto sa gawain ng mga tao. Ang buwan ay may malalaking madilim na kapatagan o tinatawag na volcanic maria. Mabubuhay ba tayo ng walang buwan? Panoorin natin ang maiksing video clip na ito mula sa Inside Science TV.
The moon. It can appear full, shining like a beacon in the night, or just a sliver of a nightlight. Still, it's always there. But what if we didn't have a moon?
Inside Science TV.
Here's the top 5 things we would miss without it. Nights would be much, much darker. The next brightest object in the night sky is Venus, but it still wouldn't be enough to light up the sky. A full moon is nearly 2,000 times brighter than Venus is at its brightest. But that's not the biggest difference you would notice. Without the moon, a day on Earth would only last 6 to 12 hours, meaning there could be more than 1,000 days in 1 year. That's because the Earth's rotation slows down over time, thanks to the gravitational force or pull of the moon. And without it, days would go by in a blink. A moonless Earth would also change the size of ocean tides, making them about 1/3 as high as they are now. This means high tide would only come up this far, and low tide would come up about this far. And just forget about seeing any lunar eclipses or any solar eclipses. Without the moon, there would be nothing to block the sun. Without a moon, the tilt of our Earth's axis would vary over time. This could create some very wild weather. Right now, thanks to our moon, our axis stays tilted at 23.5 degrees. But without the moon, the Earth might tilt too far over or hardly tilt at all, leading to no seasons or even extreme seasons. Without the moon helping to keep the Earth on a steady tilt, scientists have even imagined that life on Earth may not have evolved, at least the way it has. So the next time you look up at the night sky, realize that the moon is making life here on Earth shine bright. This is Inside Science TV.
Inside Science TV. If you enjoyed this edition, follow us on the web and social media, powered by the American Institute of Physics and a coalition of underwriters.
Sa pamamagitan ng video clip na ito na mula sa Inside Science TV, ipinapakita ang maaaring mangyari kung walang ambuan. Sa pamamagitan ng video clip na ito na mula sa Inside Science TV, ipinapakita ang maaaring mangyari kung walang ambuan.
The moon. It can appear full, shining like a beacon in the night, or just a sliver of a nightlight. Still, it's always there. But what if we didn't have a moon?
Inside Science TV.
Here's the top 5 things we would miss without it. Nights would be much, much darker. The next brightest object in the night sky is Venus, but it still wouldn't be enough to light up the sky. A full moon is nearly 2,000 times brighter than Venus is at its brightest. But that's not the biggest difference you would notice. Without the moon, a day on Earth would only last 6 to 12 hours, meaning there could be more than 1,000 days in 1 year. That's because the Earth's rotation slows down over time, thanks to the gravitational force or pull of the moon. And without it, days would go by in a blink. A moonless Earth would also change the size of ocean tides, making them about 1/3 as high as they are now. This means high tide would only come up this far, and low tide would come up about this far. And just forget about seeing any lunar eclipses or any solar eclipses. Without the moon, there would be nothing to block the sun. Without a moon, the tilt of our Earth's axis would vary over time. This could create some very wild weather. Right now, thanks to our moon, our axis stays tilted at 23.5 degrees. But without the moon, the Earth might tilt too far over or hardly tilt at all, leading to no seasons or even extreme seasons. Without the moon helping to keep the Earth on a steady tilt, scientists have even imagined that life on Earth may not have evolved, at least the way it has. So the next time you look up at the night sky, realize that the moon is making life here on Earth shine bright. This is Inside Science TV.
Inside Science TV. If you enjoyed this edition, follow us on the web and social media, powered by the American Institute of Physics and a coalition of underwriters.
Ang mga hangin ay maaaring maging mas mabilis at mas malakas kung wala ang buwan. Ang mga gabi ay magiging mas madidilim, ang mga panahon ay magbabago at ang haba ng ating mga araw ay magbabago. Kapag nawala ang buwan, ang pagkiling ng aksis ng mundo ay magkakaiba sa paglipas ng panahon. Maaari itong lumikha ng isang napaka-wild na panahon. Sa ngayon, salamat sa ating buwan, ang ating aksis ay nananatiling nakakiling sa 23.5 degree. Ngunit kapag wala ang buwan, ang mundo ay maaaring ikiling masyadong malayo o halos hindi ikiling sa lahat na humahantong sa walang panahon o kahit na matinding panahon. Kung walang buwan, ang tubig ay maaaring kumalat sa buong planeta. Ang mga oras ng ating mga araw ay magbabago at walang magaganap na eclipse. Ngayon naman ay dumako tayo sa ikalawang nakikitang natural na bagay sa kalangitan sa gabi, ang bituin. Pangalawang natural na bagay na nakikita sa kalangitan sa gabi, ang bituin at ang konstelasyon. Ngayon, alamin naman natin ang mga nagniningning na bituin. Bituin. Ito ay lawas pangkalawakan na kumikislap o kumikinang sa kalangitan tuwing gabi na may sariling liwan. Alam niyo ba na ang mga bituin ay bumubuo ng kanilang sariling ilaw sa pamamagitan ng panloob na mga reaksyon ng pagsasanib ng nuclear na tinatawag na internal nuclear fusion? Subalit ang mga planeta ay hindi gumagawa ng anumang ilaw ng kanilang sarili. Sa halip, lumiliwanag sila sa pamamagitan ng pagsasalamin ng isang proportion ng sikat ng araw na natatanggap nila pabalik sa kalawakan. Ang proportion ng sikat ng araw na sinasalamin nila ay tinatawag sa kilalang bilang albedo. Dito nakasalalay sa laki ng planeta ang dami ng takip ng ulap na mayroon ito at kung saan mayroong kaunti o walang takip ng ulap. Ang masasalamin ng mga tampok sa ibabaw nito. Ang ningning ng isang planeta sa mata ay nakasalalay sa isang bilang ng mga kadahilanan. Una, distansya mula sa araw, ang maliwanag na laki nito, at ang mga kamag-anak na posisyon ng planeta o relative position at ng daigdig sa kanilang mga orbit. Naman, panoorin natin ang isang video clip na ito. Alam niyo ba na ang mga bituin ay bumubuo ng kanilang sariling ilaw sa pamamagitan ng panloob na mga reaksyon ng pagsasanib ng nuclear na tinatawag na internal nuclear fusion. Subalit ang mga planeta ay hindi gumagawa ng anumang ilaw ng kanilang sarili. Sa halip, lumiliwanag sila sa pamamagitan ng pagsasalamin ng isang proportion ng sikat ng araw na natatanggap nila pabalik sa kalawakan. Ang proporsyon ng sikat ng araw na sinasalamin nila ay tinatawag sa kilalang bilang albedo. Dito nakasalalay sa laki ng planeta ang dami ng takip ng ulap na mayroon ito at kung saan mayroong kaunti o walang takip ng ulap. Ang masasalamin ng mga tampok sa ibabaw nito. Ang ningning ng isang planeta sa mata ay nakasalalay sa isang bilang ng mga kadahilanan. Una, distansya mula sa araw, ang maliwanag na laki nito, at ang mga kamag-anak na posisyon ng planeta o relative position at ng daigdig sa kanilang mga orbit. Naman, panoorin natin ang isang video clip na ito. Bakit kumikislap ang mga bituin, ngunit ang araw at mga planeta ay hindi? Ang mga bituin ay kumikislap sapagkat napakalayo nila mula sa Earth na kapag ang ilaw mula sa bituin ay dumadaan sa himpapawid, ito ay baluktot na hindi mabilang na beses dahil sa refraction na ginagawang parang kumukurap. Ang araw ay hindi kumikislap dahil masyadong malapit ito sa Earth kumpara sa ibang mga bituin. Earth's atmosphere o atmosfera ng mundo. Ang mga astronomo ay nagbigay ng pang-agham na pangalan para sa pagkislap ng mga bituin. Tinatawag itong astronomical scintillation.
Kapag gabi, na mistulang diamante na kumikislap. Ang mga bituin ito ay binubuo ng sobrang init na gas at may iba't ibang kulay. Ang kulay nito ang nagsasabi ng kanilang temperatura. Ang ibang mga bituin ay kulay pula na nagsisimbolo na sila ay may pinakamababang temperatura kumpara sa iba. Ang mga kulay dalandan at dilaw ay itinuturing na mga bituing may mainit na temperatura at ang mga kulay asul at puti naman ang itinuturing na may...
Panoorin natin ang isang video clip na ito. Konstelasyon. Ito ay isang grupo ng mga bituin na lumilitaw na bumubuo ng isang pattern o larawan tulad ng Orion the Great Hunter, Leo the Lion o Taurus the Bull. Mayroong 88 na opisyal na konstelasyon. Ang mga bituin ay tumutulong upang magbigay buhay sa mundo. Ang isa sa halimbawa nito ay ang ating araw, dahil kung wala ito ay hindi magkakaroon ng buhay sa mundo. Ang mundo ay magiging isang bato lamang na may yelo. Ang kahalagahan ng bituin, ginagamit ng mga sinaunang mandaragat ang mga bituin upang matulungan silang gabayan habang sila ay nasa dagat at ng mga magsasaka naman kung kailan ang tamang panahon ng pagtatanim at pag-ani. Bulalakaw. Ano nga ba ang bulalakaw? Bulalakaw o meteor, sa Ingles, ito ay batong pangkalawakan o metal na pangkalawakan na nag-aapoy kapag pumapasok sa atmosfera ng mundo at nakikita bilang mabilis na maglahong bituin na gumuguhit ng arko sa madilim na langit. Meteoroid ang tawag kapag ito ay nasa kalawakan pa, at kapag bumagsak na ito sa lupa, ito ay tinatawag na isang meteorite. Ano nga ba ang kahalagahan ng bulalakaw na bumagsak sa lupa o ang meteorite? Ang mga meteorite sa wikang Filipino, tinatawag ito na taing bituin, ay may kahalagahan sa mga siyentipiko sa pag-aaral ng paglitaw ng iba't ibang mga elemento at compounds sa mundo. Okay class, natapos na natin talakayin ang mga iba't ibang natural na bagay na nakikita sa kalangitan sa araw at gabi. Ngayon mga bata, tayo ay maghanda para sa mga gawain ukol sa mga napag-aralan natin. Ngayon mga bata, sa tulong at gabay ng inyong mga magulang, mag-online gamit ang ating Google Classroom. Ipinadala ko na sa inyong classwork ang link ng book widget ng 5 jigsaw puzzle na inyong sasagutin. Kapag natapos nyo itong buuin, isend ito pabalik sa akin. Huwag kalimutang ilagay ang sagot ng tamang salita na tinutukoy sa larawan sa inyong Google Classroom. Maliwanag po ba? Bibigyan ko kayo ng 5 minuto upang gawin ang activity ito. Okay, class, lumipas na ang 5 minuto. Nandyan pa ba kayo, class? Ibasa ang panuto. Tama! Ang unang jigsaw puzzle ay larawan ng isang araw. Tumpak. Pangalawa ay larawan ng isang ulap. Mahusay. Ang pangatlong larawang nabuo ay tinatawag nating isang bulalakaw. o meteors. Kalimang larawan na nabuo ay isang buwan. Sino-sino sa inyo ang nakakuha ng mataas na puntos? Mahusay, magaling! At ngayon naman, sa ikalawang gawain, isusulat lamang ninyo ang titik ng tamang sagot. At bibigyan ko kayo ng 3 minuto upang gawin ito. Sa ikalawang gawain, isusulat lamang ninyo ang titik ng tamang sagot. At bibigyan ko kayo ng 3 minuto upang gawin ito. Sa unang bilang, ang pulang bituin ay may pinakamababang temperatura. So, ang tamang sagot dito ay letra C. Sa ikalawang bilang naman, ang dalandan at ang dilaw ay may mainit na temperatura. At ang pinakahuli, ang bituin na asul at puti ang may pinakamataas na temperatura. Panuto. Sagutin ang susunod na katanungan at iguhit at kulayan sa itaas na bahagi ng iyong papel ang napili mong natural na bagay na nakikita sa kalangitan, sa araw man o sa gabi. Ang paliwanag ay ilagay naman sa gawing ibaba ng iyong napiling iginuhit. Sanay-say. Kung ikaw ay papipiliin, anong natural na bagay sa kalangitan ang nais mong maging at bakit? Ang iyong gawa ay susukatin batay sa kriteriya ng rubric. Astig. Sa bawat titik, may nakalaan na tig sa 10 puntos. A for artistic, S for science terrific, T timely, I idea, and G genuine. Kapag tapos na ang nabuong comic strip, maaari itong kuhanan ng litrato at isend muli sa ating Google Classroom. May mga katanungan pa ba mga bata? Base sa ating napag-aralan? Kung wala na, narito ang isang paglalagom. Gamit ang Venn diagram, ilagay sa tamang lugar ang mga natural na bagay na nakikita sa kalangitan sa araw, sa gabi o sa araw at gabi na iyong natutunan sa araw na ito. Bibigyan kita ng 5 minuto upang sagutin ito. Bibigyan kita ng 5 minuto upang sagutin ito. May mga katanungan pa ba mga bata? Base sa ating napag-aralan? Kung wala na, narito ang isang paglalagom. Gamit ang Venn diagram, ilagay sa tamang lugar ang mga natural na bagay na nakikita sa kalangitan sa araw, sa gabi o sa araw at gabi na iyong natutunan sa araw na ito. Bibigyan kita ng 5 minuto upang sagutin ito. Okay, na-send mo na ba ang iyong output sa ating Google Classroom? Kung iyong na-send na, tingnan natin ang Venn diagram kung tama ang iyong kasagutan. Okay. Ang bulalakaw, konselasyon, bituin ay nasa bahaging kaliwa ng Venn diagram. Sila ang mga natural na bagay na nakikita sa kalangitan sa gabi. At sa bandang araw, ang araw, bahaghari, ay mga natural na bagay naman na nakikita sa kalangitan sa araw. At sa bandang gitna ng Venn diagram, naroon ang buwan at ulap na maaaring makita sa araw at sa gabi. Mahusay! Sino-sino sa inyo ang nakakuha ng mataas na puntos? Aghang sining na! Mga bata, kumuha muli ng isang malinis na papel. Gumuhit ng isang larawan kung ano ang itsura ng langit sa araw at gabi. Lagyan ng label ang mga natural na bagay na iyong nakita sa iyong pagguhit. Muli, ang iyong gawa ay may kriteria ng ating rubric. Okay, mga bata, upang ating malaman kung tayo ay may natutunan, narito ang isang pagsusulit. Haraping muli ang inyong Google Classroom at isinend ko sa inyo ang link ng Quizalize ng ating pagsusulit. Basahin maigi ang panuto. Bibigyan ko po kayo ng 5 minuto upang gawin ito. Unang katanungan. Ang larawang makikita ay araw. Alin sa mga sumusunod na katangian ng araw ang hindi totoo? A. Ang araw ay isang uri ng bituin. B. Ang araw ay may temperatura sa ibabaw na 15,000 degrees Celsius. C. Isang kumikinang na bola ng gas. At D. Pinakasentrong bagay sa solar system. Ikalawa, alin sa mga sumusunod na larawan na natural na bagay ang maaaring makita sa kalangitan sa araw at gabi? Iguhit ang tamang sagot sa iyong papel. Pangatlo, ang mga bituin ay nagtataglay ng sariling liwanag at magkakaiba ang laki ng mga ito. Tama o mali? Narito ang mga tamang kasagutan ng ating pagsusulit. Para sa karagdagang gawain, maaari kayong pumili ng dalawa. Narito ang maaari ninyong pagpilian. Dapat tandaan, natural na bagay ay mga bagay na likha ng Diyos tulad ng puno, bundok, hayop, halaman, dagat, tao at iba pa. Di natural na bagay ay mga bagay na gawa ng tao tulad ng upuan, mesa, payong at iba pa. Ang mga bagay na natural sa kalangitan na nakikita sa araw ay ang araw, ulap at bahaghari. Ang bahaghari ay nakikita sa kalangitan kapag katatapos ng ulan. Samantalang ang bituin at konstelasyon, bulalakaw at buwan ay nakikita sa gabi. Maaaring makita ang ulap at ang buwan sa araw at gabi. Ang bawat natural na bagay sa kalangitan ay may kanya-kanyang kahalagahan. I am your teacher, Ricer Borja Santoyo, from Maribeles National High School, Cabcaben, saying to you, every day is a fresh start. Wake up with a thankful heart. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ma'am Santuyo, for your creative and well-presented video lesson. And now we have another video lesson in science. So teachers, let us welcome Mr. Alvin M. Santiago, Teacher 3 from Antonio G. Llamas Elementary School, Maribeles District, for his sample video lesson. Palakpakan naman po natin.
Science 3 Quarter 4. Pag-uugnay sa mga kahalagahan ng paligid sa mga tao, hayop at halaman. Ang pakitang turo na aking ipapamalas ay base sa Most Essential Learning Competencies o MELC.
Magandang araw mga bata! Ako si Sir Alvin at makakasama niyo ako ngayong araw. Ngayon ay pag-aaralan natin ang tungkol sa kapaligiran at ang kahalagahan nito sa atin at sa iba pang mga bagay na may buhay.
Matapos ang aralin na ito, inaasahang matutuhan mo ang may ugnay ang mga kahalagahan ng paligid sa mga tao, hayop at halaman. Matutukoy mo din ang mga kahalagahan ng paligid sa mga tao, hayop at halaman. Ngunit bago tayo magsimula, mayroon akong inihandang larawan. Ano-ano ang iyong nakikita sa larawan? Tama! May mga hayop, bundok, halaman, ilog, at araw. Tandaan, ang lahat ng nakikita ninyo sa larawang ito, maging sa ating paligid, ay bahagi ng tinatawag na kapaligiran. Ano nga ba ang kapaligiran? Ang kapaligiran ay binubuo ng mga bagay na may buhay katulad ng tao, hayop, halaman, at iba pa. Samantalang ang araw, hangin, lupa, panahon, at iba pang mga bagay na walang buhay ay kasama din sa ating kapaligiran. Kabilang din sa ating kapaligiran ang mga kalupaan at katubigan. At narito ang ilang mga anyong lupa at anyong tubig sa ating paligid.
Ang ilan sa halimbawa ng anyong lupa ay bundok, burol, bulubundukin, bulkan, lambak, talampas, at kapatagan. Ang bundok ay ang pinakamataas na anyong lupa. Pabilog at matulis ang tuktok nito. Ang burol naman ay mataas na anyong lupa ngunit mas mababa kaysa sa bundok. Ang bulubundukin ay binubuo ng maraming magkakahanay na bundok. Mas matataas at mas matatarik ito kaysa bundok. Ang bulkan naman ay isang uri ng bundok. May mga bulkang aktibo at mayroon din namang hindi aktibo. Maaari itong maglabas ng lava o mga tunaw at sobrang mainit na bato. Ang lambak naman ay patag na lupa na nasa pagitan ng mga bundok. At syempre, ang talampas ay patag na lupa sa ibabaw ng bundok. Ang kapatagan naman ay patag at malawak na lupain. Mainam itong lugar ng taniman ng iba't ibang pananim katulad ng palay. Narito naman ang mga anyong tubig na makikita sa ating paligid. Ito ay ang karagatan, dagat, lawa, talon, ilog, sapa, look, at bukal. Ang karagatan ang pinakamalawak at pinakamalalim na anyong tubig. Maalat ang tubig nito. Ang dagat naman ay malawak na anyong tubig na mas maliit kaysa karagatan. Ang lawa ay anyong tubig na napaliligiran ng lupa. Ang talon na ang daloy ng tubig ay mula sa isang mataas na lupa na umaagos pabagsak sa ilog. Ang ilog naman ay mahaba at makipot na anyong tubig na umaagos patungo sa dagat. Ang sapa ay anyong tubig na kadalasang natutuyo kapag tag-init. Ang look naman ay isang anyong tubig na malalim at malawak na nagsisilbing daungan ng mga barko. Ang bukal ay ang anyong tubig na nagmumula sa ilalim ng lupa. Malinis at naiinom ang tubig dito. Ang mga halimbawa na aking ipinakitang mga anyong lupa at anyong tubig ay napakahalaga para sa atin at sa iba pang may buhay. Bukod sa angking nitong ganda, pinagkukunan natin ito ng ating mga pangangailangan sa araw-araw. Ang tanong class, mahalaga ba ang kapaligiran sa atin at sa iba pang nilalang? Mahusay! Ang lahat ng mga bagay na matatagpuan sa kapaligiran ay may kanya-kanyang kahalagahan upang maging balanse ang ating mundo. Ngunit, ano-ano nga ba ang kahalagahan ng kapaligiran sa atin at sa iba pang may buhay? Natanong nyo rin ba ito sa inyong sarili? Saan tayo kumukuha ng pagkain? Paano tayo nagkakaroon ng maiinom? Saan nakatira ang mga iba't ibang hayop? At iba pa. Halina at ating alamin. Ang kahalagahan ng kapaligiran sa atin at sa iba pang may buhay. Siyempre, ang una, ito ay nagiging tirahan. Ang mga puno at halaman ay nagsisilbing pangunahing tirahan ng iba't ibang organismo. May mga hayop na nakatira sa kagubatan, kabundukan, disyerto, karagatan at iba pang bahagi ng katubigan.
Ito ang nagsisilbing kanlungan at proteksyon nila laban sa ibang hayop. Dito din sila nakakakuha ng pagkain upang mabuhay. Ito rin ang paraan nila ng pagpaparami ng kanilang lahi. Ang pangalawa na pagkukunan ng pagkain. Ang mga hayop at halaman ay maaari nating mapagkunan ng pagkain. Ang karne ng hayop ay mayaman sa protina at taba. Nakakakuha din tayo ng gatas, itlog, keso at iba pa. Samantalang ang prutas at gulay ay mga pagkaing mayaman sa bitamina, mineral, carbohydrates at fiber na nagbibigay enerhiya at sustansya sa ating katawan upang malabanan natin ang anumang mga sakit. Ang pangatlo, pinanggagalingan ng mga materyales. Mula sa balat ng hayop, kagaya ng ahas, buwaya at tupa, ay maaaring makabuo ng sinturon, bag, sapatos at damit. Samantalang ang fiber ng pinya, abaka, saging at water lily ay maaaring gawing kasuotan, tsinyelas, bag, sombrero, food tray, at basket na gawang kamay at eco-friendly sa kalikasan. Samantalang ang troso ay ginagawang kasangkapan sa ating tahanan tulad ng mesa, upuan, kama at cabinet na gawa sa kahoy, ang pang-apat, malinis na hangin. Napakahalaga ng hangin upang tayo ay mabuhay. Ang hayop at halaman, maging ang tao ay nangangailangan din ng hangin sa kanilang paglaki. Mahalaga na mapanatili nating malinis ang hangin na lalanghap sa pamamagitan ng pagtatanim ng mga puno na nagbibigay sa atin ng oksiheno o oxygen at nakakatulong din ito upang makontrol o malinis ang polusyon sa hangin. Ang lima, sikat ng araw. Ang init at liwanag na mula sa araw ay nakapakahalaga sa mga may buhay. Pinapainit ang ating panahon. Ito ay nagbibigay din ng enerhiya sa mga halaman upang makagawa ng kanilang pagkain. Ika-anim, nagbibigay ng matabang lupa. Ang lupa ang itinuturing na mahalagang pinagkukunan ng lahat, nakapagbibigay ng pagkain sa pamamagitan ng pagsasaka. Ang natural na tubig na ating iniinom ay mula sa ilalim ng lupa. Lupang gawa din sa luwad na ginagawang banga at paso ay maaring pagkakitaan nating mga tao. Ang ibang bahagi naman ng lupa ay napagkukunan ng langis at likas na gas. Ilan pang makukuha sa ilalim ng lupa ay ang yamang mineral at yamang metal, tulad ng ginto, pilak, platinum, tanso at bakal. Muli, ano-ano nga ulit ang kahalagahan ng kapaligiran sa atin at sa iba pang may buhay? Magaling, ito ay ang ating nagsisilbing tirahan. Mahusay, ito rin ay napagkukunan natin ng pagkain sa araw-araw. Napakagaling, pinanggagalingan din ito ng ating mga materyales na ginagamit sa araw-araw. At ito ay nakapagpalinis ng hangin. At ang liwanag at sikat ng araw ay napaka-importante sa atin. At ang panghuli, ito ay nagbibigay ng matabang lupa. Lagi nating tandaan, ang kapaligiran ay binubuo ng mga bagay na may buhay katulad ng tao, halaman, hayop at iba pa. Samantalang ang araw, hangin, lupa, panahon at iba pang bagay na walang buhay ay kasama din sa tinatawag na kapaligiran. At Dapat din nating ipagpasalamat at laging tandaan ang mga kahalagahan ng kapaligiran sa atin bilang tao at sa lahat ng bumubuo dito sa mundo. Kahit sa simpleng paraan class ay maaari nating ipakita ang pagprotekta at pag-aalaga sa ating kalikasan. Halina't panoorin natin ang video. Ngayon, upang masukat natin kung ikaw ay may natutuhan sa ating aralin, ay subukan nating sagutin ang mga sumusunod na gawain. Para sa unang gawain, saan nabibilang ang mga bagay sa paligid? Piliin ang ngalan ng bagay sa loob ng kahon o ang nasa larawan at isulat ito sa loob ng talaan. Kung ito ba ay mga bagay na may buhay o mga bagay na walang buhay. Una, puno. Ito ba ay may buhay o walang buhay? Hangin. Ito ba ay may buhay o walang buhay? Elepante. Ito ba ay may buhay o walang buhay? Araw. Ito ba ay may buhay o walang buhay? Unggoy. Ito ba ay may buhay o walang buhay? Lupa. Ito ba ay may buhay o walang buhay? Zebra. Ito ba ay may buhay o walang buhay? Sapa. Ito ba ay may buhay o walang buhay? Bulaklak. Ito ba ay may buhay o walang buhay? At ang huli, bato. Ito ba ay may buhay o walang buhay? At para naman sa ikalawang gawain, pagtapatin ang tinutukoy ng hanay A sa hanay B. Isulat ang letra ng iyong sagot sa patlang bago ang bawat bilang. Una, anyong tubig na napaliligiran ng lupa. A. Kapatagan. B. Talampas. C. Ilog. D. Lawa. O E. Talon. Ikalawa, malawak na anyong tubig, mas maliit kaysa sa karagatan. A. Kapatagan. B. Talampas. C. Ilog. D. Lawa. O E. Talon. Ikatlo, tubig na mula sa itaas, ng bundok na umaagos pabagsak sa ilog? A. Kapatagan, B. Talampas, C. Ilog, D. Lawa, E. Talon. Ika-4, ito ay isang patag at malawak na lupain. Ito ba ay A. Kapatagan, B. Talampas, C. Ilog, D. Lawa, E. Talon. At ang ika-5, ito ay isang patag na lupa sa ibabaw ng bundok. A. Kapatagan, B. Talampas, C. Ilog, D. Lawa, E. Talon. At para naman sa ikatlong gawain, tukuyin kung ang inilarawang kahalagahan ng paligid sa bawat bilang ay tumatalakay sa tao, hayop o halaman. Isulat ang tao, hayop o halaman na sagot sapat lang. Una, nangunguha ng pagkain sa ilog at sa dagat. Tumatalakay ba siya sa tao, hayop o halaman? Ikalawa, nagbibigay ng sariwang hangin. Tumatalakay ba siya sa tao, hayop o halaman? Ikatlo, ginagawang tirahan ang paligid. Tumatalakay ba siya sa tao, hayop o halaman? Ika-4, nakapagtatanim ng palay sa bukid. Tumatalakay ba siya sa tao, hayop o halaman? At ang huli, ika-5, nagbibigay ng mga bulaklak na nagpapaganda sa ating kapaligiran. Tumatalakay ba siya sa tao, hayop o halaman? At para malaman ang inyong tamang sagot, narito ang susi sa pagwawasto. Para sa gawain 1, mga bagay na may buhay at mga bagay na walang buhay. May buhay, puno, elepante, unggoy, sibra, bulaklak. Mga bagay na walang buhay, hangin, araw, lupa, sapa at bato. At para naman sa ikalawang gawain, sa hanay A at sa hanay B. Number 1, anyong tubig na napaliligiran ng lupa, ang sagot ay lawa. Letter D. Number 2, malawak na anyong tubig, mas maliit kaysa sa karagatan. Letter C, dagat. Sa ikatlo, tubig na mula sa itaas ng bundok na umaagos pabagsak sa ilog. Letter E ang sagot, talon. Sa ika-4, ito ay isang patag at malawak na lupain. A. Kapatagan. At pang-5, ito ay isang patag na lupa sa ibabaw ng bundok. Ang sagot ay talampas. Letter B. At para naman sa ikatlong gawain, ang sagot, sa tukuyin ko ang inilarawang kahalagahan ng paligid sa bawat bilang ay tumatalakay sa tao, hayop o halaman. Isulat ang sagot sapat lang. Ang una, nangunguha ng pagkain sa bundok, ilog at dagat. Ang sagot ay tao. Ikalawa, nagbibigay ng sariwang hangin. Ang sagot ay halaman. Ikatlo, ginagawang tirahan ang paligid. Ang sagot ay hayop. Ika-4, nakapagtatanim ng palay sa bukid. Ang sagot ay tao. At ang ika-5 at huli, nagbibigay ng mga bulaklak na nagpapaganda sa ating kapaligiran? Ang sagot ay halaman. Mahuhusay. At para naman sa karagdagang gawain, gumupit ng 5 larawan na nagpapakita ng kahalagahan ng paligid sa tao, hayop at halaman. Idikit ito sa inyong kwaderno. Bago tayo magtapos, lagi nating tandaan, a little progress each day adds up to a big result. Muli, maraming salamat at dito nagtatapos ang aking pakitang turo sa new normal setup.
So, thank you very much sa ating mahuhusay na speakers and of course sa ating mga demo teachers and to all the people behind this webinar. So, hindi pa po tayo tapos, meron pa po tayong napakahalagang tao na siya lang talagang naging busy at napaka-hands-on ng ating susunod na magsasalita. So, of course, hindi makukumpleto ang ating webinar na to kung hindi natin maririnig ang ating chairman, ang ating napaka-sipag, sabi ko nga, napaka-hands-on mula sa pag-follow up, pag-remind sa aming GC. So, no other than our chairman, please welcome Ma'am Maricel M. Cantara.
Good day, everyone. On behalf of all the members of the Grade 3 team, we would like to extend our appreciation to all the participants for bearing with us through the entire webinar series. We would also like to thank our boss, our school's division superintendent, Dr. Roland M. Fronda, to our CID chief, Ma'am Milagros Peña Flor, and of course, to our ever-supportive Science Education Program Supervisor, Sir Edwin Riel Bermilio, for having this webinar series, a bridging mechanism for us educators from different district and different grade levels share expertise to strengthen our skills and enhance the science education in our division. Congratulations to all members of the group. It was a wonderful experience working with you guys. To the program management team, to our moderators, all the facilitators, to our demonstration teachers, congratulations and thank you for doing your best for this webinar. Again, congratulations and God bless.
Thank you very much, Maricel, and congratulations for the job well done. Also, thank you everyone for your participation. And again, thank you to all the people who exerted time and effort for this webinar. And now for our attendance and evaluation, kindly check the link posted here. So mag-attendance na po tayo and at the same time, sagutan po natin ang evaluation. I think, let us end this webinar with a smile, meaning that we are very happy and satisfied with the learnings that we had today. So once again, good morning, ingat po tayo, and bye!